Hi, this is Carolyn Doughty. This is part 4 of my video on making Tarra. This is the exciting bit where we take her out of the mould and see what she looks like and start prepping her for painting. Hope you enjoy the video. Thanks. Okay, let's see what the first pour looks like. Oh, love and hate this bit. Okay, remembering it's the first pour, so they don't always come out brilliant the test pour. The silicone I put on over the seal. Right, okay, she feels so soft. I think either she's, I don't know. Right, this is a very thin seam and it's pretty good. It'll just snip away. I'm really pleased with that. You always get a teeny bit of leakage up into the seam, but the main thing is that the two sides are meet exactly, or as near as you're going to get, and this is pretty good. The ears have come out like. Oh my goodness, that's come out perfect. And this one, another perfect one. Not a bubble in sight. That's pretty good. See what her face looks like. Wow, and we have her very special star on her forehead. I don't know if you can see it. There we are. Oh, she's gorgeous. Very pleased with her so far. So lovely and soft. Lovely floppy head. perfect hand. Oh my goodness, another perfect hand. Wow. This baby really wanted to be born. I'll take that off, that's where I sealed up the seam. Okay. G-lines come out lovely. Come on then, baby Tarra, let's get the last bit out. Come on, sweetie. Oh my. Blemish there, I think something must have got on the mould or in the paw, but that is not a problem. Come on, sweetie, get your little toes out. Good girl. Good girl. Another perfect little foot. Look at that. Such a sweetie. She's got a perfect little chi line. Look at this. This is our special chi line going through her body. So exciting. This is so exciting. Sweetie, get your toes out. Come on, darling, not for long now. Come on, sweetheart. Yeah. Come on. Just a couple of toes. Good girl. Come on. Come on. Yeah. And there she is. There she is, little baby Tarra. Gorgeous little thing. I'm so pleased with her. Considering she's the first paw, she's come out so well. So, this is baby Tarra. Little baby Tarra. So I'm going to be painting her on video so you can see, isn't she the most adorable little thing? And absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Thank you. Okay. Alright. Good girl. Okay, this is Tarra. She's ready to paint. So first of all I'm going to trim off the seam from her back. and tidy that up. Now, I have shown in another video how to do this, but I'm going to do it on her anyway. Show you how I do it. So I'm just going to trim the seam off. I'm going to cut it, if anything, lower than the level of the back, because you can fill in, but you can't sort of get rid of it once it's there. So if it's up higher than the back, you can't do much about it. So I'm just going to trim it so it's a kind of channel. The seams worked really well. So the two sides of the back, other than the seam in the middle, have come together really nicely. So it should fix really well, hopefully. Probably see there's a bit of a channel now, which is fine, which is what we want. Okay, I'm also going to cut off her paw spout, this. So I'm going to cut it as neatly as I can, but and try and get as good a finish as possible. Again, we'll be trimming that off. This one, I can either root them, or this one's going to have a wig, a faux fur wig, so we don't have to worry too much about her head, but I'm going to finish her off as if she might be rooted, because some of them will be rooted. It's just that this one isn't going to be. I'm just snipping away at it, trying to get a reasonable angle so that it kind of goes over the top of the head as a normal, but it's going to be very uneven, so I will be patching it up. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's what that looks like. It's not very nice, but I'll be patching that up. Okay, so little Tarra. Sweet. There we are. So I'm going to mix up some silicone. I use, well, for this I use Platsil gel because it's very quick drying, very quick curing, and it's nice and soft. So whereas I think that Psycho paint does put quite a tough skin on the baby. I will use Psycho paint later on, but I prefer to use Platsil to start with, so that her so the skin's nice and soft like the original paw. So any little lumps and bumps I can just trim off at this stage. Okay, I'm going to mix up some Platsil now. Right, I'm just going to add A and B of the Platsil. reasonable amount because I'm going to be flooding the back area, and even though it does cure very quickly, I know I'll be able to use this much. Give this a stir. And then I'll be adding some pigment, the same colour pigment that I used when I was pouring it. Normally if you buy a doll ready to paint, this is one I've obviously moulded and, well, sculpted it myself, then moulded it and poured it. But if you buy a ready-made, a ready-poured doll, you wouldn't have to do this bit. It's only because I've poured it and I've added a seam. So, right, the mix of the colour was, I think, mainly this colour. So I'm going to add some of this just with a cocktail stick, just a teeny bit. I don't want it to be really thick pigment. I want it to be slightly more transparent than the actual pour. That way it blends in a bit better. So the same colour but just slightly less pigment than the actual pour. So I've mixed that up. So I'm going to put this on neat without diluting it for now. Preferably with a brush that's not solid with silicone. I'm not very good at looking after my brushes. Right, I'm just going to add a strip of it down the back quite thickly. And the back of the head where the seam was. Right, I'm going to spread it out a teeny bit with my brush, and then I'll be blending it with silicone fluid, so it's not, it looks awful at the moment, but you can do it in one or two goes, but I'll see if I can do this in one go, probably maybe two. Right, okay, I'm going to get my fan brush, which is quite nice and light, maybe a larger fan, probably this one, and I'm going to use my silicone fluid. Now this is, I don't have one to show you at the moment, I'll show it you at some point, but this is, it's called, I think it's just called silicone fluid, and you get it from Smooth On, and it's really good. It's like oily, but it really smooths out the silicone really nicely and thins it without making it too thin. It doesn't dilute it, it just blends it. And this is the only thing really I use it for. I don't know what other, I think some people use it to thin out the silicone in their pour, but I just use it for this. There we are. Now when you cure it, I fast cure some of my paints if I can, if I want to do it. I mean, if you thin silicone paint down, it can take a couple of days really to cure. So I cure mine in the oven if I can, if I'm working on it all day. So this I will be popping in the oven about 125 degrees for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now you have to be really careful because obviously it will cure very, very quickly. So like for instance this, I have to make sure no bubbles, no ridges or anything. So that's pretty good. So that's nice and smooth. I'm going to go and pop her in the oven and cure her, and then I'll have another look at her. Okay, she's out the oven now and she's cured, so I think I'm just going to do one more coat of this. Except I think probably the silicone, yeah, silicone's cured. So Okay, yes, again we're going to just slap it on. Down the centre seam where it is. It cured great, but it's you can see you can see where the actual seam has been. So I'm just going to do another coat. The fan brush with the silicone thinner just acts just to smooth it really lightly. The silicone being quite thick because I've not diluted it, just holds its shape in the middle and then just fans out towards the edge, so you can't really see it at all. There we are. And then when it's painted, obviously it's going to be disguised even more. Okay, I'm just going to pop her in the oven again. Okay, that's cured, but the silicone fluid, which I have now got to show you, which is wonderful, but it does tend to make the silicone a little bit sticky to the touch. So what I'm going to do is paint over with a thinned silicone over the whole of the back of it. Some people do this, some people don't. I'm going to be patching up the head, but while I'm on the back I'm going to just paint over a diluted coat of silicone, just transparent silicone. Now she has a little mark on her leg which happened in the pouring. I think it's quite sweet. I think it looks like a bit of a birthmark. I have to have a think about whether I keep that or get rid of it. I probably should get rid of it. Anyway, I'm going to paint over her now. So I'll just mix up the paint. Okay, so I've got the A and B in the pot, and I'm going to add thinner to this one to make it nice and thin, just so it's a really thin coat of the silicone. I'm using a low odour thinner. I use Bob Ross thinner. I think it's really good. Okay. So I'm going to apply this clear, so it gives a nice surface to start painting on. You don't have to do this, but I just I like doing it. I'm really bad at remembering to wash out my brushes in between coats, so I go through so many brushes. I might use my fan brush for this actually. So basically it's fairly thin. It's thin enough that I can just apply it straight and let it cure. I will fast cure this again in the oven. Try not to let it drip, because if you drip you get those drip marks then. So I'm just coating the whole of the back of her with this, just to kind of seal her. As I say, you don't have to do this. It's just that I've been doing it the last few dolls, and it does give a nice smooth start to the painting, and also it grabs hold of the paint and the colours really well. So I just this is what I do. I can only show you what I do. and a fairly thin coat. Right, cut off this little flaw in her leg. I quite like it, but and we'll need to patch that up a bit with some slightly thicker silicone. Right, go and put her in the oven again. Okay, I'm going to just smooth the top of the head off now on little Tarra. So I'm going to sit her up for this. I'm just going to mix the silicone first of all. Okay, so I'm going to do the same again. Apply the silicone to the area fairly thickly. This is where you need extra hands. So I'm just going to flood the area. Spread it out a bit. And then using the silicone thinner, just blend it. Generally this will be underneath the hairline, unless it's a bald baby obviously. So, but it's better to have it spot on. There we are. It's not too bad. Right, I'm going to go and cure that then, and then we'll be able to start actually painting.